Hi everyone. In today's episode, I'm in a new house. I'm just kidding, you silly goose. It's just a different room in the same house. Today what I would like to talk about is a fan game from a series that I think is mediocre at best. This series is known as Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't want to get too into it because this episode really isn't about that game series. It's about a different game. But to basically put it bluntly, I think that Five Nights at Freddy's is a bit of just a mediocre, bit of like a cash grab, pretty much. That's what I've always kind of sort of seen it as. It looks sort of low effort, and I don't know. It goes for the classic, make a loud noise and that's scary type of gameplay. Not saying it's bad, just saying that, it's not particularly amazing. That's what I'm gonna say. But recently, I saw that someone has made a fan game about it. Now, fan games aren't new, but most fan games are just like the original Five Nights at Freddy's, mediocre at best. So when I saw it and it actually looked, good, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give this one a shot. I did an interview with the person Neetroo, who is currently making the game. We did it over Twitter DMs, and I would voice both me and Neetroo. But the thing was that in my last video, I got a lot of comments saying that my voice is just way too attractive, and I don't want to put that kind of pressure on people. So I'm gonna be so instead of me doing the voice of Neetroo, I'm gonna be having my friend Who do the voice. You might, his channel is Hoobanana. You might have actually heard of him before, considering, he has more subscribers than me. Anyways, he's gonna be doing the voice, for Neetroo. I wanna make that very clear. Neetroo's not doing his own voice, it is Who. Would you like to say hi, Who?
Every day I'm in constant pain because my nickname in elementary school was Pregnesia.
What a funny guy. Okay, let's get into the interview. My first question I asked Neetroo was, question 1, what inspired you to start developing Tealerland?
On older projects, one of the ideas I played around with was being able to control into the animatronics and using that as your main defense, and Tealerland was a result of making a game centered around that.
Interesting. That sort of leads into my next question, which is, do you have any experience with game development, and if so, what have you developed?
I've been using my current game engine, ClickTeam Fusion, for quite a while actually. Back in 2015, I did a few very amateur games to get a feel for the engine, and around the same time I also started Tealers, the different chapter, which is a part of the character's origin. Other than that, Tealerland is my first large-scale project I've shown off in a while. Since there's quite a big time gap from my last revealed project, Tealerland in terms of polish and quality is on a league of its own compared to those old games.
Considering you've mentioned there's been so much time in between your test projects and your first official one, how long has Tealerland been in production?
Tealerland has been in around 8 months of development so far. Started the project sometime in November of last year.
Wow, that's pretty hefty. Alright, this next question might cover spoiler territory, so you can tell me if you don't feel comfortable answering this question. So far, we have 3 characters that have been revealed. Tealer the Bull, Frill the Lizard, and Tasty the Triceratops. I'd like to know, am I correct about their classification, and if not, what animals are they?
Tealer actually happens to be a dragon character, but you got the others right on the nose. It'll be a bit easier to tell in-game though, I think. Frill is based off of specifically a frilled lizard, and Tasty, like you said, a triceratops.
Ah, okay. I thought it was a bit weird that a bull was mixed with 2 reptiles. I've been wondering. Most FNAF games take place in some sort of restaurant. However, Tealerland takes place in an amusement park. Why the change of scenery?
Haha, yeah, tried to make all the characters fit in with the reptilian theme. For the scenery, I'd most likely say creative freedom and uniqueness. Restaurants are classic, but there's not a ton of room for freedom in terms of story and mechanics from my experience, haha.
Okay, speaking of mechanics, I think it's safe to ask, will this game be more like Five Nights at Freddy's 1-4, doing the same thing while it gets progressively harder, or Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, doing many different things? Or is the inspiration loose enough that it doesn't fit into any of those categories?
The base gameplay will be like FNAF 1-4, but I plan to add unlockable perks that modify the mechanics a little bit to shake up the gameplay a bit. I also plan for there to be random events that change the scenery slightly and have a higher chance of happening as the nights go on.
That makes sense. Well, I don't want to get too specific because that sort of gets into spoiler material. Are there more animatronics that will get revealed later, or are these all the ones that are in the game?
There's quite a few more, but I plan on for those to be revealed in the full game.
So you're not pulling a Nintendo and showing the first half of the game in the trailer. I think it's safe to ask, is it just you working on the game, or are there more people?
On the game page, I list everyone who's helping with the game, so it's not only me, haha, although I am doing most of it, programming, visuals, all that fun stuff.
I see. Speaking of visuals and programming, you've made it clear on Twitter and YouTube and such that you're an animator. What is your favorite animation you've made, other than Freddy Does a Sin, since that's the greatest thing humanity has ever been gifted?
I haven't actually really done any full-on animations outside the game projects yet, other than the Freddy video mentioned, but I plan to eventually. So far though, the trailer for Tealerland is probably my favorite thing I've animated things for. I'm also going to eventually do animation for a game from a friend of mine called Dryad, so that'll be interesting.
I then asked him if he'd like to shout out the game Dryad, and he did. And the Game Jolt page says that it's a game where you play as a man named Josh Miller, a true crime author who's decided to write a book based on the Tellus murders, an event where 4 camp counselors were brutally murdered. In doing his research, he decides to visit the campgrounds, which have gone untouched since the events, yet things go south quick, and it's up to you to find a way out. There isn't much more information than that, but still, it looks pretty good, and I think you should go check it out. Okay, here's one you may not be able to answer. Do you have an estimated release month or season?
For Tealerland, I imagine the full game will probably be done by December of this year at most, but there's a chance it'll come out a bit earlier than that. I really happen to have a lot done currently, but time will tell.
You said a demo is coming soon. Are you comfortable clarifying how soon is?
I think I'll have it ready before the end of this month. It's getting really close to being ready. Can't specify an exact day, however.
Perfectly fine. At least we have some sort of release window for the demo. Okay, this one is easily one that is definitely spoiler material, so just say if you aren't comfortable with saying anything about this question. How much of the plot are you willing to give off, aka the basic premise?
While I'd like to keep most of it a surprise for the demo and full releases, I will say the main protagonist has some close ties to the company that made the amusement park.
Interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Final question. Not including Game Jolt and Twitter, although you can still leave links to them, where can we support your game?
I occasionally post the game's teasers on the official FNAF subreddit when I make them, but other than Game Jolt and Twitter, that's pretty much it, haha. Game Jolt is definitely the primary platform for the game.
Alright, cool. And I guess, final question. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience/fanbase?
I hope everyone enjoys the demo when it comes out.
And that was my interview with Neetroo. I've never interviewed before, so it wasn't exactly the best interview that could have been done, but hey, I thought it turned out pretty well. I'd like to give out a few thank yous. Thank you for Neetroo, obviously, for being willing to actually do the interview. Thank you to Who for doing the voice acting. He also did the music that you're hearing in the video right now. Dryad, you can go check that out. You can go to the link in the description. Also, Tealerland would also be in the description, and so will Who's channel. You can also go on the Game Jolt page. You can see all the people who are working on it, and you can see all the voice actors, because Neetroo's actually now voice acting the game itself. He actually got voice actors. So thank you guys for watching and bearing through me, and until next time, adios. That was the cringiest way I could have ended that, but hey, you know what, who cares? It's my channel, I'll do what I want. Thank you.